earlier this evening, we see Aaron Heifel. He is our #1 contender. He will be taking on Zach Busha in our main event this evening for the welterweight title. But first, coming up next, it is Avron Graham taking on Chris Craig.
Let's bring out our next bout of the evening, Avron Graham.
Making his way to the cage, it is Avron Graham. He comes to us by way of the Live Right Gym out of Belleville, Illinois. Avron told me he wants to make a career out of MMA, so he has calmed down a bit. He was always a very fast starter. He said, tonight, I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna use my technique and make it work. He is gonna use his height and reach and look to stop the takedown of the very tough Chris Craig.
Yeah, and Graham doesn't want to overcommit on punches. That's what he's talking about with calming down. So you're too excited, you overcommit on punches, give Chris Craig an easy takedown.
Let's bring out his opponent tonight, Chris Craig.
Coming to the cage by way of Finney's MMA, it is Chris Craig. Now, although he is sporting a loss on his last outing, he said tonight, I went back and made things good, and it's time to go. He's a great all-around striker and grappler. As we go to our tale of the tape, brought to you by First Form. The obvious thing that sticks out here, one, is the height of Avron Graham and the age of Chris Craig.
Yeah, Chris Craig, 36 years old, but he's in great shape, coming into this fight. I don't think the age is going to be a factor at all.
Avron Graham, 5'7", has a definitive reach advantage over Craig.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, fighting out of the Metro PCS blue corner this evening. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. He weighs in at 125 pounds. Fighting out of Belleville, Illinois, Avron Graham. His opponent tonight, fighting from across the cage out of the Metro PCS red corner this evening. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall. He weighs in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Chris Craig.
Referee Mark Wassam has the call for this fight. Chris Craig, the standout wrestler, taking on Avron Graham. A very good striker. Quick touch of the gloves, and here we go. Avron Graham in the blue gloves, Chris Craig in the red. Nice low kick there out of Avron.
Both fighters in the southpaw stance.
Oh, touched him.
Yeah, nice short left hand out of Avron Graham.
Nice takedown there coming out of Craig. Using that heavy pressure up against the cage. This is where that standout college wrestling of Craig is going to show through.
Craig working to the back of Graham.
Avron Graham, nice reversal there on Craig.
Yeah, he got warned by the referee. I don't know if he grabbed the cage. I couldn't actually see.
Craig with that over-under position here on the bottom, working his half guard.
Yeah, Craig needs to get out on his right hip. He's going to need to get his right leg out from in between the legs of Graham, and he could use that to get up.
Graham doing a good job here, pushing up against the cage. Again, takes Craig back down, looking for a potential crucifix. Nice roll out there, though, by Chris Craig.
Yeah, on the ground, even on the top position.
Oh!
Beautiful, beautiful right leg, quick right leg off the break out of Avron Graham.
Graham is head hunting with those kicks. Again, touches him.
Craig keeps his hands pretty low. He's pretty comfortable there, but I think it gets a striker, the caliber of Graham, he needs to keep those hands up a little bit higher.
Both of these fighters are extremely technical. Nice overhand there coming out of Chris Craig. Down to 1 minute remaining here in round one of this 3-round contest.
Craig needs to be careful dropping that head.
Yeah, he keeps his hands very low. Again, looking to potentially go up high. Graham backing up from it.
Yeah, Craig is having a lot of difficulty finding the range on the feet with the taller, longer Graham.
Nice low kick there coming out of Graham. He's keeping Craig guessing. Craig looking at some head movement here. Huge left, a huge right.
Big right hook.
He is
Knocks
out,
him
ladies
out.
and gentlemen.
A beautiful right hook out of Kris Craig.
A
Knocks
one-hitter quitter knockout out of Kris Craig.
Out of nowhere. Beautiful right hook out of Kris Craig. Knocks out Avron Graham.
Sent Avron Graham crashing down to the mat. As we look at our Mattingly Lumber instant replay, Craig just waiting. Huge right, huge left, done and over with, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful job by Kris Craig. He just missed with an overhand left, slipped and followed it up with a big right hook.
Again, as we see it, there was the left, there comes the right, and it is good night for Avron Graham. Talking to Shamrock FC President Jesse Finney right there. He is talking to us about that right now. Beautiful technique out of Kris Craig. We very well think Kris Craig may not only be on the top 10 for getting knocked out, but now he's got one of his own. As we send it up to the cage to Stephen Baer to give us our results.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended 2 minutes and 56 seconds of round number one. Your winner by knockout out of the red corner, Kris Craig.
A beautiful knockout coming from Kris Craig. He implemented his game plan to a T tonight, landed the one-hitter quitter, big right hand, and that fight was over.
Yeah, beautiful knockout out of Kris Craig.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after a short intermission right here at Shamrock Fighting Championships.